The Galactic Council's main hall was filled with nervous whispers as the transmission from an unknown source played once again. A simple message flashed on the massive screen in front of the elite members of the Council. Earth's unseen supercarrier is awake. It was unlike any message they had received before. No one knew where it had come from or who had sent it. The encrypted signal was beyond the abilities of the most advanced alien species to decode. The galaxy's most powerful leaders and military officials sat at the long table, their faces filled with confusion. This is a message from Earth, but how is this possible? Commander Verak, a leader from the Rither Empire, asked in a low voice. His species had monitored human space for centuries, but nothing like this had ever been detected. Chancellor Eliara of the Galactic Council, a tall, regal being with silver skin and eyes that shimmered like stars, nodded slowly. She had seen many things during her long reign, but this was new. Earth, a relatively young species in the galaxy, had kept to themselves for the most part. Their presence was minimal compared to the older, more powerful empires of the galaxy. Yet, the message had a certain weight to it, as if it were a warning or a challenge. "We need to investigate," Eliara said firmly, her voice cutting through the murmurs in the room. "Send a team to Earth immediately. This could be the breakthrough we need, or it could be a trap." Captain Lucas Martinez, a decorated human officer, stood at attention in the corner of the room. He had been summoned to the Council's headquarters to discuss Earth's role in this mysterious event. Though he was just a soldier, his expertise was valued by the Council, especially since the humans had developed a reputation for surprising everyone with their ingenuity. Martinez stepped forward, his expression calm but serious. "I'll go. We have the knowledge of Earth's technology. If there's a threat or something to uncover, I'll find it. It's my duty to represent my people." Chancellor Eliara looked at the human, her glowing eyes narrowing. "You'll lead the team, Captain Martinez. The Council will send a fleet to assist you, but you will be the one to contact Earth and discover what is happening." Martinez bowed his head slightly. He knew this would not be an easy task. Earth had not shown its full strength to the galaxy, and now it seemed that something had changed. Hidden power, something that could shift the balance of the galaxy, was waking up. It was his job to find out what it was. The Council's fleet prepared for departure. A small but elite group of ships, led by the Arbiter, a highly advanced warship, would accompany Captain Martinez. The fleet set course for Earth, and as they traveled through the vast stretches of space, Martinez couldn't help but wonder about the Supercarrier. Had it always been there, hidden from the galaxy? Or was it something that had been created in secret in recent years? During the journey, Martinez reviewed Earth's history, trying to understand the kind of power that might have been developed in the shadows. Earth had always been a planet of warriors and survivors, but had they been building something greater than anyone could have imagined? A supercarrier, a ship that could surpass even the greatest ships of the Galactic Empire, could change everything. As the fleet neared Earth, Martinez stood on the bridge of the Arbiter, staring at the blue and green planet below. It looked so peaceful from this distance, yet the message that had been sent from its surface was anything but peaceful. He knew that something had been hidden for a long time, and now it was ready to be revealed. Approaching Earth, the ship's AI said, its voice calm and precise. "Sensors show no immediate threats. The planet's defenses are active, but nothing seems out of the ordinary." Martinez's mind raced. Was it possible that the supercarrier was more powerful than the entire galaxy realized? What if Earth had something they had never even dreamed? The fleet descended into Earth's atmosphere, and as they approached the location from which the signal had originated, the Arbiter's sensors detected something strange. A massive, unseen force loomed nearby, almost as if the planet itself were holding its breath. Captain Martinez turned to the crew. "Prepare to make contact. We need answers." As the fleet neared the coordinates, the strange energy readings intensified. Martinez could feel the tension in the air, like a storm waiting to break. The humans had kept something hidden from the galaxy for far too long. Now the galaxy was about to see exactly what they had been hiding. The signal had been clear. Earth's unseen supercarrier is awake. The question now was whether the galaxy was ready for what it would find, As the fleet descended towards Earth's surface, Captain Lucas Martinez stood on the bridge of the Arbiter, staring at the planet below. The blue and green world looked peaceful, yet he couldn't shake the feeling that something huge, something powerful was hidden there, something that could change everything. "Approaching the coordinates," said the ship's AI, its calm voice cutting through the tension in the air. "Energy readings from the surface are spiking. Something is activating." Martinez turned toward the monitor. On the screen, a small area on Earth's surface began to glow faintly. The glow quickly grew stronger, and the sensors began to pick up something massive. The AI's voice spoke again, this time with an edge of caution. "Reading confirmed. Unknown object size and energy. Levels off the charts." "That's it," Martinez muttered under his breath. The Supercarrier. It had to be. The Arbiter slowly made its way through the clouds, moving closer to the strange energy source. As the ship got closer to the coordinates, a massive shadow appeared, beneath them so large that it almost seemed to swallow the surrounding sky. The Arbiter hovered for a moment before descending further, and what came into view was beyond anything Martinez had imagined. The Supercarrier. The Dawnbringer stood before them, massive and ancient, its dark metallic surface barely visible. Against the backdrop of the planet, seemed as though it had been waiting, dormant for centuries, only now awakening to reveal its full power. The sheer size of the ship was impossible to comprehend, larger than anything the Galactic Council had ever seen. "What? Dodd. What is this?" Commander Varick's voice came over the comm, filled with awe and confusion. His species, the Rither, had been at war with the galaxy's strongest empires, but even they had never encountered a ship like this. "This is Earth's hidden weapon," Martinez said, his voice steady, but his mind racing. "The Dawnbringer was built in secret during Earth's darkest times, when we fought to survive. It was meant to be our last line of defense against any threat, a weapon so powerful that it could turn the tide of any battle." Varick seemed stunned. "But why has it stayed hidden? Why was it never revealed?" Martinez didn't answer immediately. He wasn't sure himself, but he knew one thing. Earth had been keeping a dangerous secret. And now the galaxy was about to learn the truth. The Supercarrier's surface seemed to come to life. As the energy readings surged higher, from the Arbiter's sensors, it was clear that the Dawnbringer was now fully activated, ready to launch. The ship was no longer dormant, it was awake. Its power was beyond anything they had ever imagined. As the Arbiter continued its slow descent, the crew could hear a strange hum coming from the Supercarrier. It sounded almost alive, as though the ship itself was aware of their presence. Martinez looked out the viewports, trying to make sense of what he was seeing. The sheer size of the Dawnbringer was overwhelming, but it wasn't just the ship's size that struck him, it was the energy. The ship was brimming with power, like a dormant volcano ready to erupt. "This ship can turn the tide of any conflict," Martinez said quietly, almost to himself. "It's not just a warship. It's a symbol of humanity's survival, built from our strongest will to live." The Arbiter hovered silently in front of the massive craft, and the crew was left in awe of the sheer scale of what they had discovered. Even with their advanced technology, nothing could prepare them for what they had just encountered. The Dawnbringer wasn't just a ship. It was a force of nature, a living monument to Earth's resilience. The Galactic fleet, still waiting in orbit, began to get restless. The Council had expected to find something important, but no one had expected anything like this. What were they supposed to do now? Earth's hidden weapon was real, and it was more powerful than anyone had guessed. Martinez turned to the Council's commanders, who were now on the Arbiter's bridge. "We need to establish contact," he said. "Earth's leadership must know that their ship has been found. We can't let this turn into a conflict." But even as he said the words, Martinez knew it wouldn't be that simple. The galaxy's leaders, especially those from the more powerful empires, wouldn't be satisfied with just an explanation. They would want control. And there was no way Earth would give up control of the Dawnbringer without a fight. "Commander." Varick's voice came through the comm again, tinged with uncertainty. "Do you think they even know what they've unleashed? What if Earth has no idea how dangerous this could be?" Martinez's gaze lingered on the glowing supercarrier. He couldn't say for certain whether Earth knew the full scope of the power they had created, but one thing was clear. The Dawnbringer was more than just a ship. It was the key to Earth's future, and perhaps to the galaxy's future as well. "We'll find out soon enough," Martinez said, setting his jaw with determination. "Prepare to land. It's time to make contact with Earth." As the Arbiter began to descend further, the massive shadow of the supercarrier loomed larger. Earth's secret was no longer hidden, and the galaxy's elite were about to learn that humanity had a weapon far more powerful than they could have imagined. The Arbiter was now hovering just a few hundred meters above the surface of Earth's hidden supercarrier, the Dawnbringer. The sight of the massive warship below them was overwhelming, loomed like a dark titan against the backdrop of Earth's blue sky. The ship's surface seemed to shimmer, like it was alive. A creature made of metal and energy, Captain Lucas Martinez stood at the command center of the Arbiter. His eyes locked on the supercarrier below. The other officers were quiet there, eyes wide with disbelief. No one on the ship could comprehend the size and power of what they were witnessing. They had all heard rumors about Earth's secret weapon, but none of them had imagined it would be anything like this. "Prepare to land," Martinez ordered, his voice steady, but with an edge of excitement. "We need to establish contact with Earth's leadership." The crew quickly followed his orders, and the Arbiter slowly descended toward the ground near the supercarrier. The energy readings from the ship were still rising, but there was no immediate sign of danger. Everything felt still. The ship was waiting. It was as though it knew they had arrived. As the Arbiter touched down gently on the surface, a wave of tension passed through the crew. They had expected to find something important, but this was beyond what any of them had imagined. The fleet above Earth's atmosphere had also been waiting. The elite members of the Galactic Council, including representatives from various powerful alien species, had been observing the situation from afar. Their ships, sleek and advanced, hung in orbit above the planet, like silent observers waiting for the right moment to act. As Martinez and his crew disembarked from the Arbiter, they were joined by a small group of officials from the Galactic Council. Among them was Chancellor Elyara, the leader of the Galactic Council, who had personally joined the mission. Her eyes scanned the surroundings, taking in the sight of the supercarrier. She was a being of power and wisdom, but even she seemed impressed by the scale of the Dawnbringer. "Captain Martinez," Elyara said, her voice calm but filled with curiosity. "This is more than we ever expected. How does Earth possess such a weapon?" Martinez met her gaze and took a deep breath. "I don't know all the details, but Earth has always been a species of survival. During the war that nearly wiped us out, we built this ship in secret. It was meant to be our final defense, our last line of protection if the worst ever happened." Chancellor Elyara nodded thoughtfully. "And now it seems that the worst has come." The officials from the council were still trying to process the situation. They had never expected Earth to have such power. The Dawnbringer was unlike any ship they had ever seen. It wasn't just large, it was powerful, with technology far beyond anything the galaxy had encountered before. The question now was what Earth intended to do with it. "Do you think Earth knows how dangerous this ship is?" Varric, the commander of the Rither fleet, asked. His voice carried a hint of concern. "What if they don't understand the full scope of what they've built?" Martinez's face hardened. "If they don't understand it, they will soon. This ship has the power to change the entire galaxy. It could be a force for good, or it could become a threat. We need to make sure we handle this carefully." The team stood in silence for a moment, contemplating what was at stake. The future of the galaxy seemed uncertain. If Earth chose to keep the Dawnbringer hidden, it could lead to suspicion and fear among the other species. But if Earth chose to reveal the full power of the ship, it could cause a shift in the balance of power across the galaxy. "Captain, we're receiving a communication," one of the officers said, breaking the silence. "It's from Earth's government." Martinez's heart skipped a beat. This was it, the moment of truth. He stepped forward, his mind racing. What would Earth say? Would they welcome the Galactic Council's presence? Or would they see it as an invasion? The message on the screen was clear. "Earth's response is ready," the officer continued. "You're invited to speak with Earth's leadership." Martinez looked at the council members around him. "Prepare yourselves," he said, his voice firm. We need to be ready for whatever comes next. The holographic display flickered, and the face of Earth's leader, President Emily Carter, appeared on the screen. She was calm, her expression serious, but not unfriendly. Behind her, a group of advisors stood, their eyes focused on the communication. Captain Martinez, President Carter began, her voice strong. We've been expecting you. Earth has always kept its secrets, but it seems that the time has come to reveal what we've built. The Dawnbringer is ours, and we know what it means. But we must also understand what the galaxy expects of us now. Martinez nodded, relieved that Earth was willing to speak openly. We need to work together, he said. The Dawnbringer is a powerful ship, and it's in your hands. But the galaxy will be watching. We can't let fear drive our actions. President Carter's gaze softened slightly. We understand, Captain. We'll do what's necessary. But the Dawnbringer is not just a weapon. It's a symbol of humanity strengthened. It will be treated as such. Martinez exhaled slowly. It was a beginning, but it was just the start of something much larger. The galaxy was watching, and the next steps would decide Earth's place in the galaxy and what role the Dawnbringer would play in the future. As the communication ended, Martinez turned to the council. It's up to us now. We have to decide what happens next. The Dawnbringer is a power that could unite us or tear us apart. The council members nodded, knowing that this was only the beginning of a much larger journey. The galaxy's future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. Earth had just revealed its hidden strength, and the balance of power in the galaxy would never be the same again. The tension on the Arbiter was palpable as the council members stood together in the ship's briefing room. Earth had shown its power, and now the entire galaxy was watching to see how the situation would unfold. Captain Lucas Martinez could feel the weight of the moment on his shoulders. The Galactic Council had never expected Earth to have such a secret, and now that secret had been exposed. The Supercarrier, the Dawnbringer, loomed like a silent giant on the surface of Earth. World's leaders were meeting with the galactic officials, trying to figure out how to move forward. Martinez had never felt more uncertain in his life. What would Earth do now? Would they use their newfound strength to take control of the galaxy, or would they join the galactic community as equals? Captain Martinez sat at the table with the council members, his thoughts racing. The message from Earth's President Emily Carter had been clear. They understood the power of the Dawnbringer, and they were ready to share it, but on their own terms. They wanted to ensure that humanity's strength wasn't seen as a threat, but rather as a symbol of survival and resilience. We cannot ignore what we've seen, Chancellor Eliara said, her voice echoing through the room. The Dawnbringer is more than just a ship. It is a weapon that could change everything, and Earth has kept it hidden all this time. Why? Why didn't they reveal this earlier? Martinez took a deep breath. The answer isn't simple. Earth has always been a species of survivors. During the war, we had no choice but to build something powerful enough to defend ourselves. But we didn't want to use that power unless it was absolutely necessary. We kept it hidden to protect ourselves, not to threaten the galaxy. But you didn't know what would happen once it was discovered, Varrock, the commander of the Rither fleet, added. Now that we know about it, the galaxy is forced to confront Earth's power. It's not just a weapon, it's a message. Martinez nodded. I understand. Earth has always been underestimated. We faced challenges that many others couldn't even imagine. The Dawnbringer was a symbol of our struggle, not just a weapon. But now, it's something else entirely. The galaxy will have to decide how it deals with us. Eliara's gaze softened slightly. And what do you think Earth will do now? Martinez hesitated. I think they'll try to build bridges. But there are many factions in the galaxy that won't be so forgiving. They'll want control over Earth's power. They'll want to use the Dawnbringer for their own purposes. The conversation grew heavy as the council members exchanged looks of concern. The realization had settled in. Earth was no longer just a small, isolated planet. They had become a player in the galactic game, and the rest of the galaxy would have to come to terms with that. A soft chime interrupted the silence, and the screen in front of them flickered to life. President Carter's face appeared once again, calm, but with a hint of determination in her eyes. Captain Martinez, she said, her voice steady. We've thought long and hard about our next steps. The Dawnbringer is not just a weapon, it's our history, our survival, and our future. We want to be part of this galaxy, but we want to do it on our own terms. We are ready to open discussions with the Council, but we need to make sure that humanity's strength is respected. Martinez nodded, feeling the weight of her words. Earth has made a wise choice. We need to ensure that this strength doesn't create divisions, but instead opens the door for cooperation. The galaxy has been divided for too long. This is a chance. For us to change that, President Carter's expression softened. We know there will be those who view us with suspicion, but we can't hide anymore. We've survived through our own determination, and we'll face the future the same way. We're ready to show the galaxy that humanity is capable of more than just survival. We are capable of leading, of building a future where all species can coexist. Martinez looked at the council members, their faces a mix of surprise and contemplation. The Dawnbringer wasn't just a ship. It was the key to a new era. Whether that era would be one of peace or war depended on the choices they made now. Carter, Martinez said, turning back to the screen. We will stand by your side. Earth has earned its place among the stars. But you must be prepared for those who will try to use your strength for their own purposes. The galaxy is watching, and they will not hesitate to act. We understand, President Carter replied. But we are not afraid. We're ready to take on whatever comes next. We've faced worse before, and we will face it again if we have to. With that, the communication ended and the room fell silent. Martinez felt a sense of resolve settle within him. Earth had taken its first step onto the galactic stage, and now the galaxy would see what humanity was truly capable of. A long road ahead of us, Martinez said, turning to the council members. But this is just the beginning. We will work together to build a future where humanity can stand side by side with the other species in this galaxy. The council members nodded, each of them realizing that Earth's future was now linked to theirs. There would be challenges ahead, but there was also hope. The galaxy had just witnessed the power of humanity, and it was clear that Earth would no longer be underestimated. The galaxy had been thrown into a whirlwind of uncertainty after the discovery of Earth's supercarrier, the Dawnbringer. In the days following the message from President Carter, the Galactic Council convened to discuss the future. Earth's leadership had made it clear they wanted to be part of the galactic community, but only on their own terms. The question now was whether the galaxy was ready for what Earth had to offer. Captain Lucas Martinez stood in the council's meeting room, looking out at the stars beyond the window. He had never felt so conflicted. On one hand, humanity had finally shown the galaxy its true strength, but on the other, they were about to face a galaxy full of powerful empires, some of which were not so eager to welcome Earth with open arms. The council members were still debating. Some, like Chancellor Eliara, believed Earth's strength should be embraced. Earth has proven itself resilient, Eliara argued. Its people have fought for their survival, and the Dawnbringer is a symbol of that determination. It could be a powerful ally in the galaxy's future. But not everyone agreed. Varric, the commander of the Rither fleet, was more skeptical. We cannot ignore the power Earth now holds, he said, his voice filled with concern. The Dawnbringer is not just a ship, it is a weapon that could tip the balance of power. We must be careful if Earth chooses to use it to dominate the galaxy. We will all be at risk. Martinez listened to the arguments, his mind racing. He knew that Earth's leadership was not interested in conquest, but the rest of the galaxy did not share that view. To them, Earth was still a relatively young species, one that had never been involved in the larger galactic conflicts. Now, with the power of the Dawnbringer on their side, Earth was a force to be reckoned with. We have to make a choice. Martinez finally spoke up, his voice calm but firm. The galaxy can either work with Earth or it can fear Earth. But if we choose fear, we will never truly know what humanity is capable of. The council members paused, reflecting on his words. The tension in the room was thick, but it was clear that Martinez had struck a nerve. The galaxy could no longer ignore Earth's place in the universe. Whether they wanted to or not, they would have to learn to live with Earth's power. Later that day, Earth's representatives, including President Carter, were invited to speak with the council once again. The atmosphere was tense, but there was a sense of anticipation in the air. This would be the moment where the fate of Earth and its relationship with the galaxy would be decided, as President Carter appeared on the screen. Her face calm but resolute, Captain Martinez could see the determination in her eyes. She was not just representing Earth's government, she was speaking for all of humanity. "We are here to build bridges, not walls," President Carter began, her voice strong and steady. "We understand the fear our strength may cause, but we are not here to conquer. We are here to be a part of something bigger. The Dawnbringer is a symbol of our survival, not a threat. We do not want to use it to dominate, but we will use it to protect what we've built. Our future depends on our ability to work together, with the galaxy, not against it." Martinez watched as the council members listened carefully. Some were still skeptical, but others seemed to soften at President Carter's words. It was clear that humanity's intention was not to impose its will on others, but to seek peace and cooperation. "We understand that trust must be earned," President Carter continued. "We are ready to prove that humanity can be a partner, not a threat, but we need the Council's support. The Dawnbringer will not be used as a weapon of fear. It will be a tool for peace, and we are ready to stand by that promise." The room fell silent as the council members exchanged looks. The decision was not an easy one. The Dawnbringer was a powerful ship, and with it, Earth had the potential to change the galaxy. But what the galaxy had seen so far was a species ready to take responsibility for that power, not misuse it. Finally, Chancellor Eliara spoke, her voice measured. "Earth's offer is one of peace, and we must give it a chance. We cannot let fear dictate our actions. The galaxy is stronger when we work together. Earth's place in this council will be decided not by what it has the power to do, but by what it chooses to do." Varric, though still wary, nodded in agreement. "We will not stand in the way of peace, but Earth must prove that it can be trusted. The Dawnbringer must remain a symbol of hope, not a weapon of war." Martinez felt a sense of relief wash over him. It wasn't a perfect solution, but it was a start. Earth had been given the chance to prove itself, and now it was up to humanity to make the most of it. The decision had been made. The galaxy's future would no longer be shaped by fear of Earth's power, but by the promise of cooperation and shared growth. As the meeting concluded, President Carter's face disappeared from the screen, but her words lingered in the room. Earth's role in the galaxy was no longer in question. They had taken their first step toward becoming a part of something greater than themselves. Captain Martinez looked out the window at the stars once more. The future was uncertain, but there was hope. The galaxy had been given a chance to see humanity for what it was, not just a survivor, but a leader, capable of shaping the future of the galaxy.